Hello, welcome everyone to the main event. Figure Federation, the MEFF. I am the leader of the Jakk'd brand, Troy, and with me is the leader of the Overdrive brand, Greg. What's up, Greg?
What's up?
We're here on week 3 of our TV schedule. It is November 16th, and we are two television shows away from our first pay-per-views that will go head-to-head on that particular Sunday, the 29th. So watch out for those to drop in your feed. I am bringing a cage.
Unless you're on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about our radio real quick here in a second. But November 29th, I'm bringing you Rage in a Cage. Greg is bringing you Ignition. We're going head-to-head. And it should be good stuff. We're both building up to big storylines, big crescendos. Some storylines will begin, some will end. It's moving on towards the end of 2020. We're going to bring November out with a bang. And that's not just because I have DDP on my roster. But before I had to make a pun. Come on. But before we get into all the stuff from this week, we got to backtrack and kind of just let everybody know, if you didn't tune in last week, which you should have. It was week 2.
Oh, we did record numbers, man. They're huge. Biggest numbers ever.
Wow. You definitely need to go back and listen to week 1, which was a little rocky. Week 2 was a little better. And I think week 3 will be the best yet. By the time we get to the pay-per-view, we'll have this thing all figured out, I would say. And we'll be chugging right along. Some unpredictable stuff, I think, is happening on both shows. There are definitely quite a few matches on both shows that are more pick'em than anything. Greg and I have known each other for 10 years, and we kind of know how each other thinks about certain things, and we couldn't even call how each other's shows were going to go in certain instances. In some instances, it was, wrestling is wrestling. But we're trying to be as unpredictable and different as possible, put our own little spin on things. But before we dive into all the things that was last week, real quick, you brought up the iHeartRadio thing. I'm not going to go on a tangent, just real quick.
But you kind of are.
As well as a side note.
And you should. Because it's BS.
For all of you out there, judging by the numbers from iHeartRadio, I don't think there are a ton of listeners that use iHeartRadio. But it is, I guess it has name value. I'll say that. It is a quote-unquote bigger platform for the podcast to be on. There are a couple things, if you're not a podcaster, you wouldn't know this, but it takes forever to get on iHeartRadio to begin with. You submit your show, you wait. It takes...
And then you wait a little more.
Yeah. It takes like 10 times longer than any other service. The iHeart you have to submit, and then my God, it takes at least a month to the point of where you forgot you even submitted anything to them. Wow. And then I've done that. And then finally I got an email like, oh, crap, we're on iHeartRadio, finally. And
I remember when you sent me that email, by the way, real quick. I was like, because you sent me maybe after 4 shows. I'm like, wait, we are? I thought we already were. Not that it's a given, but I figured, oh, okay, we're on. We have a show. We should be on there. And
then I found out, because usually I submit the show at 12:30 in the morning Eastern time or 12:35 Eastern time. And by the time I wake up in the morning, it's everywhere. Well, I did it a little late, 1 week, and just letting y'all know if it took over 5 hours. It took over 6 or 7 hours for it to pop up on iHeartRadio. We're literally everywhere, hours and hours before we're on iHeartRadio. So if you can follow us on another platform, please do it. Just as a forewarning.
Or stay with iHeartRadio. We don't want to control what you do.
Well, I'm not telling you what to do. If you want us earlier, if you want us on time even, I would suggest going somewhere else. Just putting that out there. But if you follow us on social media, you'll get all the links provided on there. Facebook.com/main event Marks Pod. And Twitter and Instagram is @main_event_Marks. And Greg also shares it on @main_event_collector on Instagram. So go check that out. Also, if you're a collector, you like figures and all that good stuff, you'll want to check out @main_event_collector as well.
Some good stuff.
Yes. I think
if I can put myself over.
You're strapping yourself up.
Hey, don't get ahead of me in the show. Damn it.
Nice. All right. Well, I think we plugged all the holes and told everybody all the dealios. So, you want to run down what happened head-to-head last week on the main event Figure Federation?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're going to run down, if you guys didn't listen to us do this last week, we're going to run down segment by segment what went head-to-head between Jakk'd and Overdrive. So, here we go. On segment 1 for Jakk'd, we get Ric Flair comes out to open the show, bragging about, what he's going to do moving forward and everything, or, bragging about his win the previous week. And Razor Ramon comes out to say that, he'll take him on in the next round or whatever, and Kurt Angle comes out to interrupt Razor, and they get into it because he's like, well, you have a match with me tonight, don't be looking past me, and Ric Flair slips out of the ring. What was your seg 1?
Seg 1, Elias versus Hurricane. Hurricane gets in the ring and badmouths Elias, and Elias says he lived under power lines as a kid. Elias demands his guitar back. Hurricane calls superheroes fake. They go at it. Hurricane hits him with we'll call it a flash crossbody. Gets 3 count in like 2 seconds. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it. All right. Seg 2. I had Chris Jericho versus Rey Mysterio in the first official match for the junior heavyweight division. They had a back and forth match, but Rey hit a Hurricane Run on Jericho, sending him into the ropes, hits a 619 springboard splash, and he wins. Jericho jumps in from behind. They brawl into the commercial break. What's your Seg 2?
Seg 2, Corey Graves gets in the ring, reads a note from the general manager, who we still don't know who he is. He apologizes. Says he's still a wrestling fan, but he's getting sick of rehashed wrestling moments. He once again accuses Gorilla Monsoon of being the general manager. Gorilla Monsoon assures him it's not him.
Nice. The continuation. Well, my Seg 3 involves my authority figure. Eric Bischoff comes out.
Not planned, by the way. That's just
right. Yeah, my Seg 3, Eric Bischoff actually comes out, breaks up, tells the two guys they're still brawling after the commercial break, Jericho and Mysterio, that is. He breaks them up and he says he's going to have a huge announcement about the junior heavyweight title coming up next week, which is what we're about to cover here soon, on Jakk'd. What's your Seg 3?
Segment 3. Shelton Benjamin versus Murphy. Semi-competitive match. Gorilla's again putting over Shelton. Shelton, of course, loses after he gets hit with Murphy's Law.
Nice. I actually, if that was has that match happened on Raw in real life?
That's my knowledge.
I would actually like to see that in real life. I feel like those two could, if they were let to do whatever they wanted, left to their own devices, I feel like that could be a great match.
Might be a while now, because they're on different shows.
Yeah, well, Murphy's on SmackDown now?
Yeah, they moved him over to the A show.
Nice. Alright, my Seg 4 was Sting versus Jerry Lawler in the Jakk'd Heavyweight title tournament. Lawler starts at the commentator table because he is my color commentator. He tells Sting to get out there. Sting kind of chases him around the ring a bit. They do some stuff back and forth, and then Sting ends up getting the win with a Stinger splash into a flying splash off the top rope for the 3 count. Sting gets a quick win. What was your Seg 4?
That's still the most random moment in all of our Fig Fed yet. Lawler and Sting.
Well, yeah, I gotta fit him in some way.
I would love to say I have the most random moment, but I can't top that. Okay. My Seg 4 is a backstage segment. Tommaso Ciampa's in the back prepping for his handicap match. Corbin walks in. There's some words. They're going back and forth. They end up brawling. Officials separate the two. I got a couple of tweets on this. People are like, well, which one's heel, which one's face? I swear I'm not pulling an AEW thing. It'll be revealed soon.
Hashtag stay tuned. Right.
Also, I'm also of the mind they can both be heels or both be faces. It doesn't have to be defined.
Yeah, I always hate that word.
But certain ways, it seems like you don't know. I like to think that this one you might know. I can be wrong, but
I get a little bit of camaraderie between faces and heels, whatever, but I always hated that where it's like, well, they're all baby faces, therefore they're all best friends, or they're all heels, therefore they all have to team up. Like,
Yeah.
I always thought that was stupid. Like, logically, in real life, it makes no sense. Like, just because you're an a-hole doesn't mean you share common bonds with other a-holes.
Yeah. But I remember a couple, like, it was like maybe months ago now, somebody beat up Kalisto, and then Apollo stood up for him, and you're like, what? So because they're both baby faces, everybody's besties, and they...
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, now when somebody has a legitimate team, like, you know, they've shown that they're friends with somebody, and then nobody comes out to help them when they're getting their ass beat, that stuff annoys me too. But, like, that's kind of the reverse of it. It's like, well, they have friends. Where the hell are they? But, alright, Seg 5. Don Callis interviews the Ultimate Warrior backstage about his upcoming match with Goldberg. Warrior does his usual, like, promo. It makes it sound like he did a whole bunch of peyote before he got on the mic. And then Goldberg does his, 3-minute long entrance. And then the Warrior does his entrance before the commercial break. Let's go, Seg 5.
Segment 5, Tommaso Ciampa versus his mystery opponents. They turn out to be the Street Profits. The match begins. We go to commercial. That's my Seg 5.
Alrighty. Seg 6 for me. That's the layover segment from the first hour into the second hour. I booked this purposely like this. I've got Goldberg versus the Ultimate Warrior. The hype was in the Seg 5. Seg 6 is the actual crossover segment. And Goldberg versus the Ultimate Warrior in the Jakk'd heavyweight title tournament. They basically beat the crap out of each other until they get out of the ring. Tons of spears and attempted jackhammer and all that stuff. Nothing does it until Goldberg spears Warrior through the guardrail. Warrior busts his head open on the guardrail, and Goldberg manages to beat him into the ring for the 10 count. He wins via count out. Not the most exciting finish, but the match itself was supposed to be, what brought it. What was your Seg 6?
Seg 6 was the continuation of some Seg 5. Handicap match is happening. All 4 men are down. Referees in the ring counting. Montez Ford. Sorry, hold on. Let me start over.
All right.
Okay. All right. Seg 6 is the continuation from Seg 5. Match is going on. All 4 men or all 3 men, I should say, are brawling because this is 2-on-1. Tommaso Ciampa gets involved, distracts Street Profits and Baron Corbin. Meant to distract Corbin, but inadvertently disrupts the Profits. They come out. Big brawl outside the ring. Referee's counting. Tommaso Ciampa ends up winning via countout and keeps his United States title. Was not on the line, but he would have lost it had he lost this match because of the way he won it.
Awesome. All right. Seg 7. We are officially into hour 2 here, cooking along. I get The Rock coming out. He cuts a promo about being on Monday nights and being in the heavyweight title tournament and all that stuff, hyping himself up, getting everybody ready for next week, which is the show we're about to cover. And he's interrupted by Mankind, who will be his opponent the next week. And Mankind tells him they're not friends anymore. There's no Rock and Sock connection. And Mankind attacks him. Rock beats him up a little bit, but Mankind gets the upper hand with the mandible claw, making The Rock pass out for security, breaks him up. Seg 7 for Overdrive.
Seg 7 was Matt Riddle versus Andrade. Matt Riddle cuts a promo about how the bro life is awesome, anybody could do it. Andrade calls him a pollo, which is chicken, by the way, in Spanish. They have a match, goes back and forth. Andrade wins with the hammerlock DDT.
Nice. There needs to be an official tag team, Los Pollos Locos.
Good lord.
The Crazy Chickens, come on.
So right. Andrade, and I guess the closest thing would be the Gobbledygooker.
Well, it was Hector Guerrero in that suit, so
that is money right there, though, dude.
Yeah, I smell it. All right. Anyway,
so many innuendos are gonna do with chicken and smell. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Good grief. Seg 8 for Jakk'd. the British Bulldog comes out and he introduces his tag team partner, because the Hollywood Blondes have come out and they're wondering, they know they're going to face British Bulldog in the tag title tournament, but they don't know who Bulldog's partner is. So Bulldog comes out on the stage and he introduces his tag team partner, Owen Hart. So it is going to be Owen Hart and the British Bulldog versus the Hollywood Blondes in Seg 9. What was your Seg 8?
Seg 8 was a video package highlighting last week's World Title Tournament. It's announced that Pete Dunne, Gargano, and Bobby Roode will sign contracts for the Ignition pay-per-view next week. It's also announced that the finals of that tournament, will be a 30-minute Iron Man match. Baron Corbin may or may not be involved, depending on what happens later tonight.
All right. Seg 9. We get the Hollywood Blondes versus Bulldog and Hart in the tag title tournament, bro. This one went on for a while until Owen charged in and Austin hit the stun gun on him. Bulldog's still recovering from a nut shot from earlier on that the ref didn't see, so Pillman nails Air Pillman on Bulldog, and Austin pins him for the 3 count. So the Blondes win and move on to the next round of the Jakk'd Tag Team title tournament. Seg 9 for Overdrive.
Seg 9 is the start of the match between the Usos and Red Dragon. For people who may not know, it's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. If you don't know that, shame on you. We start out with Jimmy Uso and Bobby Fish. They're brawling. Both men hit a hard right. Both knocked down to the mat. As we go to commercial, that's Seg 9.
All right. Seg 10, second to last segment of the night. Diesel's prepping for his match with Hulk Hogan in the Jakk'd heavyweight title tournament, but Shawn Michaels is backstage with them. They're talking about the issues they've been having lately, and Shawn's begging Diesel. He's like, come on, just let me come out to the ring with you tonight, be in your corner. You know you want back up against Hulk. Finally, Diesel backs down. He's like, all right, fine, you come with me for the main event. We're still pals. Seg 10 for you.
They gave each other a hug, right? And the pals got a hug.
Oh, yeah. Brothers got a hug.
That's one. We always get Chris Farley references in here, or Adam Sandler. Someone from within that circle.
Yeah. Well, too bad you don't have a Ryback. You could have done the Ryback rules. And
I have 2 Rybacks. I should have drafted one.
Right? Then we could have done the O'Doyle rules reference.
Are my 2 Rybacks your 2 Conways? I like to think at least Ryback was something.
How dare you? Rob Conway's a former tag team champion.
Yeah, the American guy who was French sympathizer, right? Or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Seg 10. The continuation and the ending of the tag team title match, or tag team match, not titles yet. All 4 men are down. Brawling goes back and forth. Ends up hitting with them chasing the dragon on Jimmy Uso for the win.
All right. Seg 11 to close the show. It's Hogan versus Diesel, but we see Hogan must pose. We don't know yet. Diesel's got Shawn Michaels in his corner. The match is pretty even for the most part, but Hogan gets dumped outside at one point. He shoves Shawn Michaels, who he thinks gets a little too close for comfort. And Shawn Michaels then tries to get involved. This distracts everybody and allows Hogan to do 2 big boots in a row, and he nails the body slam into the leg drop, and he gets the win. Shawn Michaels has egg on his face. What the hell? Hogan must pose as Real American players, and we don't know what the hell's going on between Diesel and Shawn Michaels. Diesel finally gets to his feet at the end of the show, and he just shoves Shawn Michaels away, and he walks in the back by himself. What's your Seg 11 to close out the show?
Seg 11 is Baron Corbin versus the Mystery Team. Turns out to be the debuting Viking Raiders, who were not drafted. They were a supplemental draft team. Basically, it's a one-sided ass-kicking because they don't have to tag in, so Corbin's taking it. Tommaso Ciampa comes down to the ring to kind of taunt him. He waves by at him, and Corbin gets mad and spits at him, so Ciampa hits him and accidentally gives him the DQ win. Viking Raiders beat the hell out of... they chase off Ciampa and then beat the hell out of Corbin to end the show.
Nice. That one shocked me because I was like, oh, I didn't know you were picking up the Raiders. And I see on the main event collector Instagram, I was like, oh, he's got the figures. Nice. I mean, obviously you did because you used them on the show, but
I didn't draft them because, full disclosure, I didn't have them in my possession yet.
Yeah. So I remember you and I were there for their NXT debut as the War Raiders.
Yeah.
And you were unimpressed.
At first, yes. I've actually grown a liking to them.
Yeah.
You know what turned it around, I think? Was it War Games that they were in with you and I, or was that me and Ramon?
I think. I'm pretty
sure. That might have been LA. Okay.
Yeah.
That's when I started liking them. I was like, wow, they're not just two brute guys.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, is it Ivar? Is Ivar the cute one?
Lord. Yeah, Eric is the one that used to be Rowe, and then Hansen is Ivar, I think.
Yeah, so, I mean, man, that guy's so damn good.
Yeah, he's like, I compare him to Bam Bam Bigelow with some of his movements. I mean, he doesn't do a moonsault, but...
And for fig collectors, by the way, these are some of Mattel's best work.
Yeah, I've been looking at them.
Easily, man. Oh, my God. They are just... Holy crap.
Yeah, anybody who buys them and posting pictures, and I'm like, oh, man, that's some solid stuff, man. But, all right, well, that does it for last week. We're going to kick things off this week with you, Greg, with the Overdrive brand. You actually kicked us off week 1. I went first week 2, so it's back to you for week 3. Let's hit it for Overdrive.
All right, here we go. All right, Billy Idol kicks us off. I still think I won the battle of the theme music, by the way. All right, we're sold out.
Because you don't mess with Billy Idol.
Hell no. We're sold out. We're live 2 weeks away from Ignition. Tonight we're going to find out who will battle Tommaso Ciampa for the U.S. title, plus the debut of one of the all-time great tag teams, the number 1 draft pick in Overdrive, the Hardy Boyz. Segment 1, we start off with a match. Now it's mine, now won't let go. All right, Cedric Alexander's out first. His opponent is... No stopping me, no! You can't rob me, no stopping. You can't rob me, no stopping. Shelton Benjamin. All right, lots of back and forth action. Shelton hits pay dirt early, wraps up both legs, thinking the match is in the bag, but Cedric kicks out. Shelton gets in the referee's face, arguing it was a 3 count. As the bickering goes on, Cedric rolls up Shelton for the 3. Cedric is all smiles, happy about his Overdrive debut win. He helps up Shelton to shake his hand. Shelton shoves him away and walks off. Corey Graves then again asks Gorilla if he still sees a bright future for this sore loser. Segment 2. We have Elias in the ring. He's not performing because he's still angry he doesn't have his guitar. He demands Hurricane come out and give him back his property. All of a sudden, Drake Maverick walks out. He tells Elias that he represents Mr. Hurricane and that the guitar in question now belongs to Hurricane because possession is 9/10 of the law. Elias says now one of Hurricane's little playmates wants to get involved. While looking at the message, he grabs Drake, starts beating him mercifully while calling out the Hurricane. Lights go out. Green spotlight shines on Elias. We hear Hurricane speaking over the arena. He tells Elias that being a mutant is bad, but being a bully is 10 times worse. He says he knows what he has to do. He challenges Elias to a match at Ignition. If Elias wins, he can have his guitar back, and Hurricane will return to the Hurr Fortress. But if Hurricane wins, Elias has to go back to his home planet. Elias smiles and accepts.
I've got to ask. Is this a little bit of racism here? Hurricane going after mutants?
No, it's wasn't superhero versus mutants.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like the X-Men thing. Like that was like always allegory, wasn't it? Like, well, it's actually about racism.
Yeah, don't get me started on that crap.
Also, you don't have a buff or a bruised beefcake, do you?
I do not.
Okay, well, guys, because I do, and his bow tie can clip off. I was gonna suggest, since you're doing this with Drake Maverick, you should take the bow tie and put it on Drake.
Oh man, I could
like
probably find
Rockstar Spud.
I could probably find a toy one somewhere.
All right, I'll let you get back to your show.
Okay, segment 3. Local jobbers already in the ring. Viking Raiders are out. They crush the local jobbers in about 7 seconds with a brutal Viking experience. After the match, Eric grabs the mic and says they are here to destroy the entire roster and will not stop until they've destroyed them all and reign supreme as the Overdrive Tag Team Champions. Segment 4 is another match.
Should I pull a Matt Cardona on you and ask who's the stand-in for your local jobbers?
I have 2 dollar store jobbers that I plan to take big photography with, so don't worry.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll make the exception since they're not Mattel, because I'll use. We use the rule for accessories, and I count them as accessories since they're just literally there as punching bags. So that counts, yeah. Because I'm probably going to use some Mattel weapons at some point, so I have them all mixed up, and I honestly can't tell the difference sometimes.
Yeah, like literally you have to look at the description on the weapon itself, like it says like Mattel or Jakk'd or something. But okay.
That is correct.
By the way, real quick,
number 2.
We can keep this in too. I was like sorting some of my figures last night, getting them all organized in a bin, and I found some loose vests and stuff from certain figs. And the black one came with Bobby Lashley, because he looks stupid with that vest. So I took it off of him. You take that vest and the headband off, he looks pretty decent. The vest literally says 2010 Mattel inside of it. I don't know who the hell it went to in 2010, but clearly they're just reusing stuff. So I just thought that was funny.
Wow, that's nice.
Also, the Razor Ramon from Target, the current Target exclusive, the Legends one. The inside of that vest says Mattel 2004. So again, who the hell is that going to in 2004? I'm going to do some research and try to find it.
Yeah, they clearly just repainted the damn thing.
Yeah, exactly. I find funny.
Hey, waste not, want not.
I mean, hey, I would do it. I'm not knocking them. I just think it's funny.
Yeah, right.
All right. Segment 4. We got another match. All right. Matt Riddle's out. Gets on the mic and says Andrade got one up on him last week because he was a tougher bro. This week will not be the same. Okay, match. Andrade starts. Andrade answers. Match starts. It's back and forth for a little bit. Eventually, Andrade gets a little too eager to finish off Riddle and has a miscue with his double knees. Riddle capitalizes with the bro to sleep for the win. He walks out strutting to his music. Andrade is in the ring, kicking the ropes, angry as hell because he got one up. Segment 5. Okay, AJ Styles is out. He gets a mic. He mentions last week Ciampa screwed him out of the United States title, or 2 weeks ago, Ciampa screwed him out of the United States title. He's not worried about the past, he's worried about the future, and the future is at Ignition, because on that night, the Phenomenal One gets his rematch, and he's going to take the United States title back. And then, all of a sudden, don't stop me, no! Shelton comes out. He says, tonight didn't go his way, but he wants one more shot, and he's challenging AJ Styles to an impromptu match right now. Corey Graves asks Bill Monsoon if he still thinks Shelton has a future. Gorilla tells Corey, hey, Michael Jordan took a while to win big. It's only a matter of time for Shelton. Shelton enters the ring. We go to commercial break. Segment 6. Come back from commercial. We have a nice athletic battle. Shelton hits a beautiful super kick for a 2 count. He performs a springboard crossbody for another 2 count. Shelton looks to be getting very anxious. As he goes to pick up AJ Styles, AJ hits a Pele kick, only gets a 2 count. AJ goes to the apron, preps for a phenomenal forearm. As he leaves, Shelton moves out of the way, slams AJ to the mat. He gets another 2 count. Benjamin argues with the ref. He shoves him. The ref shoves him back. Shelton turns around. AJ hits multiple forearm shots. But Benjamin, with the last burst of energy, hits a T-bone on AJ Styles for yet another 2 count. Styles rolls to the outside. Shelton is spent. Takes a few seconds to recover. He goes to the outside. Puts AJ in the ring. Still tired. Benjamin climbs in very slowly. As he crawls in, AJ sets him up for the Styles clash, hits the 3. Shelton sits up after the match, visibly angry, watches the finish on the Tron. He walks past the announce table and stares at Corey and asks him if he finds this funny. Corey very seriously says not at all. Gorilla assures us that Shelton is still the man to watch. So if you're keeping count, Shelton's 0-2 on the night. Okay.
Man.
Yeah.
Bad luck, Shelty.
Right.
Do you have a figure of his mama?
I do not. I guess I could put some drag on Viscera.
Holy crap.
Or King Mabel, whatever.
Not to, insult the dead or anything. Dang.
I think it was more insulting his mom than the dead, but...
His mom, yeah, the woman who played his mom is dead, too.
Oh, I thought we were talking about his actual mom. I forgot about that
I don't
crap.
know.
Oh, my God.
How dare you?
Good Lord. Wasn't that the same woman who played Brodus' mom at WrestleMania 28? Or one of them?
I don't think so. I think she was dead by that point. But I could be wrong. I don't know. So
I'm going to stand firm, though, that if she was alive, they would have used her for Brodus' mom. I stand firm on that.
Everybody's mama.
Right. Well, certain people. All right, let's move on. Segment 7. Okay, Tommaso Ciampa comes out to the ring. He says he saw that cute little match that AJ just won. Not bad for a first win on Overdrive, but let's be honest, you did beat a guy who was already beaten earlier in the night. But you won. But come Ignition, AJ is going to be humiliated once again as Tommaso Ciampa holds the United States title high. Murphy enters, and we have our next match. Murphy's getting upper hand, but we hear Baron Corbin's music out of nowhere, but he never comes out. This distracts Ciampa enough to look towards the ramp. Murphy gets a roll up, but only for a 2 count. As Ciampa kicks out, he rolls back over the ref as the ref is on the ground. Not really. Tommaso Ciampa hits a low blow when he's not looking, follows up with Project Ciampa for the win. Ciampa's handed his title. He's angrily looking up at the ramp for Corbin, who is nowhere to be seen. Something big's brewing between Corbin and Ciampa. You can just tell. Okay. Next, contract signing. Corey Graves is in the ring to moderate. He introduces all 4 men. Out first. We get Johnny Gargano. No one comes out next because Corey says this is not going to break down into a brawl, so we're going to have all 4 men sign the contract individually. Gargano grabs a mic, says Overdrive will belong to Johnny Wrestling in 2 weeks' time. At Ignition, he signs the contract, guarantees victory. Bobby Roode comes out. He signs the contract and says the first champion won't be some angry little child from Cleveland, but rather a glorious Canadian. Out next is Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne signs the contract, won't say a word, just walks off. Next out to the ring. Out next is Baron Corbin, but he is nowhere to be seen. So we try again. Still no Corbin. Then we see cameras in the back. All of a sudden, Corbin is in the back brawling with Tommaso Ciampa. Security finally breaks them apart and tells Corbin to get to the ring. So Corbin runs out to the ring, gets in the ring, and says he's unhappy because he feels like he's in unsafe working conditions on Overdrive. Corey says, if you're unhappy, you can go over to the Jakk'd brand, but I don't think you're legally allowed to be there. Corbin says maybe he will. And he says, well, I guess we only have 3 men competing for the title at Ignition. Corbin realizes what he's given up, signs the contract. As he does, Ciampa runs down the ring, and Corbin runs through the crowd. All 3 of the other men look in the ring, confused as to what just happened. Segment 9. We get a rundown of the Ignition pay-per-view. All 4 world title challenges are shown. We do not know who will be facing each other until the night of the pay-per-view. We also have AJ Styles versus Tommaso Ciampa for the U.S. title, Elias versus Hurricane, and just announced the debut of the Major Brothers. Segment 10. We get the debut of the first overall draft pick on Overdrive, the Hardy Boyz. Their opponents for tonight are also debuting on Overdrive, part of the supplemental draft. Oh, wow. God. Corey Gray says, who the hell hired these idiots? We get a very high-octane match. All four men are flying all around the ring. Action falls to the outside. Matt Hardy and the Luchas are fighting. Jeff dives to the outside on all three. With all four men down, we go to commercial break. Segment 11. We're back from commercial. Matt and Lindsay are the legal men. Matt hits a side effect for a 2 count. Lindsay makes a hot tag to Metalik. Metalik knocks Jeff off the apron, hits Flying Hurricane Run on Matt for the 2 count. Lindsay tags back in, goes to a springboard plancha, but Matt rolls back, and Jeff gets the hot tag. Jeff comes in, goes crazy, hitting both Luchas with flying fists. Metalik whips him to the corner, but Jeff hits a whisper in the wind. Lindsay, still the legal man, tries to roll Jeff up, but he rolls out and gets hit with a seated drop kick. Metalik goes for attack on Jeff, but Matt hits a twist of fate. Jeff climbs the top rope, hits the swanton on Lindsay for the win. The Hardy Boyz celebrate and shake Lucha House Party's hands as we fade to black.
So is that all 3 of them, or just the 2?
Oh, 2. Sorry, I should clarify. Yes, just Metalik and Lindsay.
Okay.
I need to clarify. So I have one more spot. The supplemental went to the Viking Raiders and the Lucha House Party.
Okay. Yeah, because when you
played your knowledge, but okay.
Yeah, well, because when you played the song, I was like, okay, it could. I mean, I thought it was Lucha House Party, but they also used that theme for Lucha Dragons, so I was like, is he gonna go with Sin Cara and Kalisto, or like, what's going on?
I do have all 3, but I picked Metalik and Lindsay throughout a while. I don't know why I blanked, because I don't know who's gonna get mad. I personally think they're the 2 of the better ones, and that if we're judging all of them, they're 1 and 2. As much as I love these, though, those are 1 and 2. So
I have 2 Sin Caras. I don't have any Kalistos, and I don't have Metalik or Lindsay, which sucks, but whatever.
Yeah, those figures are really good too.
Yeah, they looked awesome.
Like, just the deco alone made me want them, but
right. So was that your final segment on the show? I lost count.
Yeah, that was segment 11.
Okay. Yeah, when you said Fade to Black. Okay. Yeah, when you said Fade to Black, I was like, okay, that's got to be it, right? Okay.
Oh, I was going to play the Metallica song. I don't want to get in trouble, though.
You play whatever you want. So, all right. Well, that wraps it up for Overdrive. We get a tag match closing the show. Playa. Teddy Long would be proud.
I'm also going a little Saturday Night Live, Saturday Night Main Event style. You don't need to necessarily close with your big one, but I still thought that was good, though.
Yeah, it was.
It makes up a lot of booking here.
Well, and the thing with your last segment there is the Hardys, who were drafted first, like you said, they made their show debut 3 weeks in, so that was a big build-up, and then, you had 2 more guys, another tag team, their debut for the second week in a row, so you're filling out the roster, and
there's only one spot left.
Who is, on both of our rosters.
Yeah.
Because so far I filled out my supplemental with, I can't even remember who all is. Demolition, who is in the tag title tournament brawl. Rob Van Dam and Owen Hart. So.
It's not a bad supplemental.
Oh, hell no. I've got.
I like how your supplemental are legit, like, guys, teams, Yeah. 2 of mine are the Lucha. Not the crap on the guys I just said, but 2 of them are the Lucha.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I never thought they were used properly in WWE, so I'm actually excited to see what
I personally love them. Especially Grand Metalik. I think he is one of the more underrated wrestlers on the whole roster.
Yeah. Yeah, and little trivia about him. He was Mascara Dorada down in Mexico. He is the only. This is the only time this happened, because usually everybody gets a mini if they're a big enough star. Well, this is the only time a mini got a non-mini, I guess. I don't know what to call them. A normie.
Good God.
I don't freaking know. But, because Mascarita Dorada is like one of the most famous minis they have down in Mexico, and that was the former El Torito in WWE. So, and then they bring in Mascara Dorada. So, there you go. A little bit of trivia there for you. Not that it was needed, but
over at WWE, man. People ate that up.
El Torito? Yeah. I know, I'm like, he's a tiny bull. Like, who cares? And
Dude, there was nights where he put on some really good, like that WLC, man. That was like, what the hell? This was supposed to be stupid and like childish. It was actually good.
I know. It was really good.
People are like, oh, that's kind of disrespectful to little people. And Hornswoggle like once said that, he said like, I forget, I think it might have been on a podcast. He goes, I'm a little person. Why the hell wouldn't I try to make money off of that? Like, I got it. I'm going to use it. Like, people need to stop being so damn sensitive. And he's now kind of a big thing. Like, at least, with the major bros, like, everyone knows who he is. People flock to see him. Like, yeah. Like, if you got, like, let's call it something different, use it.
All right. Well, now that you have wrapped up with week 3 of Overdrive, I guess it is time to get into week 3 of Jakk'd. And I did a little editing to some of the songs. If you notice, there are certain songs that had like really long intro, like Rey Mysterio and whatever. I also edited my theme song, which, for those of you that don't know, is What I Want by Daughtry. I edited it a little bit so it sounds like something like if you heard it on, like, let's say they used it for Raw. So, anyway, let's get into it.
That's actually what I did with Overdrive. Go right into the chorus.
Yeah, this one, I mean, I wanted the intro to bust right into the chorus. You'll be able to tell here in a second. But, alright, let's get into it. All right, I'm good old JR. Welcome, everybody, to our 3rd episode ever of Monday Night Jakk'd here in the main event Figure Federation. We got more World Tag Team Title Tournament action here tonight, and also the Heavyweight Title Tournament continues, and I have it on good authority that we're going to see some Junior Heavyweight Division action here tonight. Also, we're going to hear from Commissioner Eric Bischoff about the future of the Junior Heavyweight title going into our first pay-per-view, Rage in a Cage, at the end of the month. And we will have one more person qualifying for that triple threat to become the first ever television champion of Jakk'd. That will take place at the end of the month, the night after Rage in a Cage. But let's get into all the action at hand.
Better call somebody.
All right, first match of the night. World Tag Team Title Tournament action. The New Age Outlaws come to the ring. It is the first round, still continuing here to open up the show. The New Age Outlaws come down doing their stereotypical entrance. The Road Dogg, finally, he tells them, "Cut my damn music." And he says, "I don't know who the suckers are that have to step into the ring with the D-O-double-G and Mr. Ass here tonight. But let's bring them suckers down here so we can lay the whooping on them." And they wait a few seconds and they hear... Oh, it can't be. Oh, JR just got given a note. He says, it's Bradshaw and Farouk, the APA. They're going to be fighting for a job here tonight in the World Tag Team Title Tournament. If they beat the New Age Outlaws, that means Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, they go home.
they're done, and the APA will take their spots on the roster. So it looks like Road Dogg and Billy have their work cut out for them. The Outlaws flip out. The Outlaws spend most of the match getting beat up. Bradshaw slows down quite a bit after a few minutes, and the Outlaws get a few double-team moves in on him. Road Dogg and Bradshaw eventually both make hot tags. Farouk runs wild on the Outlaws. The crowd's going nuts. When Farouk turns his back for just a moment to hype up the crowd, the ref doesn't see Billy Gunn shove Farouk into Bradshaw. They clunk heads together. Billy nails the one and only on Farouk, picks him up, and the Outlaws hit their spike pile driver on Farouk, and they get the win. So the New Age Outlaws keep their jobs. They will move on to round dose of the World Tag Title Tournament. Next, we go to the back for Seg 2 here. Commotion is heard in the back, and a camera runs up to see what it is. Diesel and Shawn Michaels are shoving each other around in the hallway, screaming at each other about their recent losses. Referees and security are trying to hold them apart from beating each other up before Razor Ramon runs up to them, getting in between them. Razor goes, yo, amigos, calm down. You two are best friends, your family, this is stupid. What are y'all, so what if y'all aren't going to be tag champions together? So what if you aren't going to be world champion yet, big man? Y'all act like you're never going to get another chance. Diesel, you know Shawn would take a bullet for you, Chico. Shawn, you know Diesel's your hermano. Diesel, next week, Shawn gets his world title tournament match against the Hitman. You need to be supportive for him and get his back. Shawn made a mistake. Chill out, Chico. Now shake hands. Shawn and Diesel both agree, and with Razor, they apologize with each other. They shake hands. Brothers got a hug, so they hug. All of them hug it out and go their separate ways. But up next.
Sorry, that was, 3? Brothers got a hug?
That's the third.
What?
Third reference. I guess a repeated reference, but it still counts.
Why does that become the thing on this podcast? I love it. Sorry, go ahead.
Brothers got a hug, man. The clique has to hug it out. Next match, it is segment 3, and it is in the World Title Tournament, the Jakk'd Heavyweight Title Tournament. First out, it's the bad guy, Razor Ramon. And he's going to be taking on it's the Wrestling Machine, the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle. So they are going head-to-head here.
I love that song, by the way.
Yeah, that remix by
best one.
Yeah, I always loved that one. I mean, they cut out the whole "you suck" part, but I didn't mind it because it fit with the time. He was being more serious and intense. But Razor holds his own, but it's clearly getting thrown off by how quick and squirrely Kurt Angle is. Razor gets in control a few times with some hard strikes. It knocks Angle loopy, but all in all, Angle out-wrestles Razor at every turn. Angle goes for the Angle Slam, but Razor slides out and lands on his feet. He goes for the Razor's Edge, but Angle also slides out of that, and he lands behind Razor. He chop blocks Razor, grabs his foot. He locks in the Angle lock, and he grapevines it just when it looks like Razor's going to crawl to the ropes. Razor fights in it for about 20 seconds before he finally taps out. Kurt Angle wins with a submission victory. He's going on to round 2 of the Jakk'd Heavyweight Title Tournament. Seg 4. We've got Don Callis backstage with Eric Bischoff, and he asks Eric, what's your big announcement going to be in regards to the junior heavyweight title and Rage in a Cage? Bischoff tells Callis that, first of all, he's excited to see Owen Hart take on Flying Brian Pillman up next. And after what's happened the last 2 weeks with the junior heavyweight division, he has decided that at Rage in the Cage, inside of a steel cage, we will see the first ever junior heavyweight champion of the Main Event Figure Federation crowned in a fatal 4-way match between Flying Brian Pillman, Owen Hart, Chris Jericho, and Rey Mysterio. We now switch to our other man in the back with a mic, Armando Alejandro Estrada.
Do you have a cigar?
I do not. But I have Armando with a removable hat. But he is backstage with Owen Hart. He asks Owen what his thoughts are on the announcement of Commissioner Bischoff. And I don't know if the accent's racist or not. I'm trying my best. But Owen says...
I touched it.
Owen says, I'm really looking forward to being the first champion crowned on the Jakk'd brand at our very first pay-per-view Rage in a Cage on November 29th. I'm also looking forward to taking out 3 other great junior heavyweights and bouncing them around inside of a steel cage. However, I'm not overlooking Brian Pillman tonight. He's a fantastic competitor, and we've both got similar training under my dad in the dungeon. All of a sudden, the British Bulldog comes up to Owen, says, I can't do a good accent for him, but he says, Owen, what happened last week? I handpicked you so that we could become the World Tag Team Champions together again. I think your head was more in the in that junior heavyweight bollocks than it was in the tag team division. Owen says, Davey, look, I'm sorry. I told you where my head was at when you asked me to be your tag partner. I was all in last week, and I'm sorry we lost. Sorry, man. But I've got other business right now. Catch you later. Owen pats Bulldog on the shoulder and walks off as Bulldog kind of hangs his head in shame and disappointment. We go to a commercial break, and that is the end of Seg 4. Seg 5. We got the junior heavyweights in action here. It's Owen Hart taking on Flying Brian Pillman. He's leaving Stunning Steve in the back. He's going to get this one done on his own, one-on-one against his brother-in-law. It's Owen Hart, Flying Brian Pillman. This match is just to build up for Rage in the Cage. Nothing on the line here yet. And the match starts with catch-as-catch-can wrestling back and forth with holds and reversals. It eventually turns into a high-speed contest that combines holds and flying strikes. Finally, Owen ducks Air Pillman, and Brian lands face first, kind of hurting his knee in the process. Owen instantly grabs Pillman's leg, locks in the sharpshooter, and Pillman taps out in the center of the ring. Another submission win here. After the match, though, Owen helps Pillman to his feet. They shake hands, and they both pull each other in close and kind of glare at each other and do the stare off in the center of the ring. But Owen picks up the win here. Up next, Seg 6, it's the Jakk'd Heavyweight Title Tournament. Another first-round match. First out. It's Mankind start us off here, and he's taking on...
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
The Rock is here.
Rock says,
The Rock and Sock will be connecting here tonight, but on opposite sides of the ring. So we start this one off. It's just simply a brawl. Both men are beating away at each other, not pulling any punches. Mankind lays the Rock out on the announce table, and he attempts an elbow drop off the ring apron, but Rock moves, and Mankind crashes through the table. Rock crawls into the ring by 6, but Mankind barely makes it in before 10. He stands up into a spinebuster from the Rock, followed by a people's elbow, but he kicks out. It's a near fall. They wrestle around a bit longer. Mankind goes for a pile driver, but Rock back body drops him. When Mankind gets to his feet, the Rock nails a rock bottom, and he pins Mankind for the 3. The Rock is moving on to round 2 of the title tournament. Seg 7 is the post-match here. The Rock is celebrating in the ring as the crowd cheers him on. He's posing in the corners as Mankind rolls outside of the ring and grabs a chair, unbeknownst to the Rock. Mankind rolls in, and he starts to go after the Rock when all of a sudden the lights go out. The crowd cheers, and they're just going nuts. And when the lights come back on, Mankind's chair over his head is being held by The Undertaker, holding it back. The Rock turns around in confusion as The Undertaker rips a chair away from Mankind and throws it aside. Undertaker goozles Mankind, nails a choke slam. The Rock gets down, and he and The Undertaker go face-to-face. Paul Bearer is also in the ring and nods in approval as he smiles, raising The Undertaker's urn high into the air. The Undertaker stands silent as the Raw jaw jacks with him with his opponent, his future opponent for round 2 in the world title tournament here. Mankind's back up and he staggers up to the 2-man. The Rock hits a rock bottom on him before popping back up and saying, "Just bring it," to The Undertaker. Undertaker rolls his eyes in the back of his head as we go to commercial break. We're closing in on the end of the show here. Seg 8. We hear that music yet again. This time it's stunning Steve Austin. He's coming out. This is a qualifying match for that TV title triple threat at the end of the month. And his opponent, it's Stunning Steve versus the British Bulldog. 1-on-1. Bulldog failed to move on in the tag title tournament, so now he's trying for the TV title. This is a pure wrestling match of one-upsmanship to start out with. Bulldog eventually uses his superior strength to overpower Austin and gain the advantage. Flying Brian eventually comes out to cheer Austin on at ringside. Pillman eventually slides a chair into the ring, distracting the referee, and he distracts Bulldog at the same time. Bulldog yanks Pillman up onto the apron before Austin drop kicks Bulldog into Pillman, then hits a stun gun, and Jackknife covers Bulldog for the win. Austin helps Pillman up as they take off together. A job well done. Your winner, moving on to that TV title triple threat, Stunning Steve. All right, we go to the back now. Don Callis approaches the Bulldog in the locker room as he's taking off his boots. Bulldog's looking pretty pissed. Callis asks Bulldog how he feels after losing his opportunity at 2 different titles here on Jakk'd. Bulldog says, "Well, I'm clearly off to a very slow start here in the main event figure federation. I'm not sure what to do next after getting shoved aside by Owen and then cheated out of an opportunity to wrestle for the TV title, but I'm going to have to figure out a way to bounce back. And please leave me alone with my thoughts." Don Callis leaves the locker room. Bulldog finishes unlacing his boots. He turns to put him in his locker. We hear the locker room door open yet again. We don't see who comes in. Bulldog shouts, "I told you I want to be alone, Callis." And just then, we see a hand slap Bulldog on the shoulder. Davey Boy turns around to see who it is. And Bulldog's face lights up with a huge smile on his face. And he says, "It's you!" Now we're moving on to Seg 10. It is our main event of the evening, Seg 10. It is in the Jakk'd heavyweight title tournament. First out. After his count-out victory against the Ultimate Warrior, it's Goldberg in the main event here tonight on Jakk'd. And he's taking on his old-time rival, Hulk Hogan. We're just abusing the crap out of Hogan, having him close out every Jakk'd so far.
Hey, I jobbed out Shelton Benjamin a bunch of times.
Yeah. Hey, we gotta have Hogan close out the show, man. I mean, that's, why mess with the formula? To start the match here, before the opening bell, we hear both men are confused. It's the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. He comes down. He's wearing a suit tonight. He's not ready to wrestle. But he goes and sits down at commentary for this match, insulting both men, mostly Hogan, throughout the entire match. These two bulls test each other's strength repeatedly and do a lot of clotheslines and body slams. What you would expect. Think of, Hogan Warrior type stuff. Goldberg finally hits a running spear on Hogan in the corner, and then backs up to hit another spear. This gets a near fall. Goldberg goes for a jackhammer, but Hogan blocks it with a suplex. When they're up, Hogan nails the axe bomber to get a near fall. Hogan does his multiple punches into the ropes, but Goldberg reverses the Irish whip, and Hogan comes back with a big boot. Goldberg staggers back, bounces off the ropes, and it's a flying clothesline. Both men are down. Hogan crawls to the corner and stands himself up as Goldberg staggers up and charges in for the spear. But Hogan moves, and Goldberg spears the steel ring post, flopping outside of the ring. Goldberg is now bleeding on the floor outside as the ref counts because he connected with his head on the ring post. He gets up at 9, and Goldberg just barely manages to roll into the ring to stop the count. As soon as he rolls in, however, he rolls just in enough so Hogan hits a big leg drop on him. He rolls Goldberg to the center of the ring. He does a second leg drop. He stands up. He asks the crowd. He cups his ear, and he nails a third leg drop. Hogan pins Goldberg in the center of the ring, the 3 count, and Goldberg kicks out just after the hand drops for 3. So Hogan gets the win. Hulk Hogan's moving on to the next round of the tournament. Seg 11 to close the show. Hogan is posing for the crowd. Hogan must pose, pal. As Real American blares all over the PA system, and EMTs come down to check on Goldberg. Ric Flair gets off of commentary. He grabs a chair and he slides in the ring and he cracks Hogan in the back with a chair. He hits another shot to Hogan's back, dropping him to all fours. Flair raises the chair up and drops it on his back yet again. Flair puts Hulk Hogan's leg inside of the folding chair, and he does his strut, and he goes to the second rope. He's about to drop a knee on the chair and break Hogan's leg, but all of a sudden, before he can drop the knee, we hear Kurt Angle, Ric Flair's opponent in the next round of the tournament. He rushes down to the ring. Flair gets ready for a fight, and they get into a fist fight in the center of the ring. Kurt goes for the Angle slam, but Rick staggers Kurt to the ropes, and he slides down off of the apron, and he jumps down. Flair then takes off towards the back, pointing at Angle and shouting, "Next week, you're mine. You're going to regret this." We go off the air as Kurt Angle poses for the crowd as the music plays. So this week, it's Angle must pose. As Hogan finally comes to and he gets the chair off of his leg. That is the end of Jakk'd.
That was a fun show.
Thank you. Lots of storyline building. Lots of tournaments, bro. The tournaments are moving forward. Big announcements for Rage in a Cage. Looking forward to seeing what you and I do moving forward. Next week is our go-home shows before Ignition for Overdrive and Rage in a Cage for Jakk'd.
Jakk'd. Say it like Justin Roberts.
Jakk'd. Or else I can say it like Joel Gertner. Remember how he used to do that for the Dudleys?
Yeah. I'm sure you throw some innuendo in there about your mother, too.
Ripped, shredded, and jacked. I like how he said that about the overweight Bubba Ray Dudley.
Yeah, right.
But all right. Yeah, next week, like I said, week 4, November 23rd. It is our go-home episodes. Should be fun. I've got a lot of stuff planned. I guarantee you do, too, to build up for our first ever pay-per-views that will take place on November 29th. So get ready for those to drop. You'll have 2 shows back-to-back days drop in your feed on the 29th and 30th. It's going to be a big couple of weeks for you and I.
Gobble, gobble.
Oh, yeah. Because, well, I mean, this is... next week is the last show before Turkey Day, right?
Yeah, because these would drop, ideally, the day after, right? On Black Friday?
Well...
ideally, we hope you're out there listening to the... Or at least, wait, what drops on Friday? Oh, the bonus show.
Nothing. Yeah, the bonus show will drop on the 20th.
Oh, okay. I'm behind. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so...
be out there listening to our stuff during your Black Friday shopping.
Is Black Friday on the 20th or the 27th? That's second to last Friday, right?
No, last Friday. Whatever is after.
Friday. Okay.
Day after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I don't know. This whole damn year is running together for me, I'll be honest with you. So I just don't give a damn. I'm not one of those ones, the year ends, because, they'll fix all the problems. But at the same time, it's like, dude, seriously, what else?
Yeah. It's the most it's the most frustrating year in the history of anything. Yeah.
27th.
Okay, so you can listen to our Go Home show, and also Main Event Marks drops every Wednesday. You can catch up on all this because you'll have Main Event Marks the November 18th show. You can catch up on will be Victory Road 2004, TNA Victory Road 2004 will drop on the 18th.
Oh, that was such a fun show to record.
Yeah. That's coming up this week, actually. So after this, expect that 2 days from now on Wednesday. And then you'll have our Go Home show, Main Event Figure Federation, dropping on the 23rd. Catch up on that. On the bonus show, by the way, will drop on the 20th. Ideally, we'll drop on the 20th.
That's when we're going to throw you a freaking bonus.
Hell yeah. And it's going to be me recording with Jacob Grandi, who you all may remember from our previous bonus show. He was here for the SummerSlam, the very first SummerSlam. We are going to record the very first Survivor Series, review that. Going to drop on the 20th, like I said, ideally. But, yeah, so you'll have Main Event Figure Federation on the 23rd. 25th is what I'm looking at for Main Event Marks. You and I are going to be going over Survivor Series 2006. Big show. Yeah, so you'll have plenty of time to catch up on it. I'm sure a lot of places are closed this year for Thanksgiving.
Good.
In my opinion, as they should be. So for all of you out there,
no cash grabs this year.
Right. Black Friday starts at noon on Thursday. F off.
I do think it still starts at 5 on Thursday, but obviously online only. So just
right. I don't care about the online stuff. That one, you can sit in your boxers at home and freaking buy stuff and order it.
Yeah, while watching the Lions lose. Yeah, I mean, that's what you do on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right. I always love that meme of from Family, or that part of Family Guy where Brian was stuck in the lion's cage, whatever. He's like, shouldn't you guys be losing a game on Thanksgiving? But yeah, anyway, so this Thanksgiving and Black Friday should be fun, especially for it's going to be different. It's very, very different for many reasons. So check it out. I hope you all enjoy the content. This will give you plenty of time to catch up on all that audio goodness, because what else are you going to listen to when you're trying to avoid family? And because I guarantee none of you are going to listen to, the guidelines of not having any family over. Literally nobody's going to do that. So, while you're
I totally will. I follow the rules.
Yeah, right. Well,
I don't want this getting flagged. What the hell's wrong with you? I am following the rules. We will not sing or chant or have multiple people from other houses, and we'll only have our. I can't even do this.
Well, I'm having if I do end up getting together with family, it's going to be 2 people. So I'm technically following the rules, but only because all the rest of my family is busy. So or
if
out
I bring
of town.
A cat in from outside, does that count as another bubble or household or whatever?
Maybe. Just the outside bubble.
Yeah.
But all right, well, thanks everybody for tuning in today. I hope you all enjoyed the third go round of this. Obviously, things aren't perfect, but as perfect as a figure federation on a podcast can be, I think they're going pretty well. I hope you all listen to us.
Just be fun, by the way.
You're right. It's not like
we were getting paid for this, which don't get me wrong, I would like to. I'd probably be a little more professional about it.
Right. I think I'm putting too much thought and effort and whatever into my script writing, but then again, I'm a writer, so it's fun. I like doing it. But yeah, so we'll see you all next week with our go-home shows before the pay-per-views.